So rows go this way, columns go this way, so you'd say this is a 2 by 2. All right? Questions on that? You guys have done these in Algebra 2? Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use our graphing calculators to solve a 3 by 3. So you're going to be asked to augment this system into a matrix. So what that means is it says, hey, take this system and put it into a matrix or a matricing. Okay, what that means is get rid of your x's and your y's and your z's. So I have a 1, a negative 2, a 3, and a 7. If you look over here, this is what the matrix is. 1, negative 2, 3, 7. Sometimes you're going to see that line. Okay, that line is just going to say that it's equal. Those are what it's equal to. Sometimes you're not going to see that line. Okay, you will not get docked if you forget that line. All right, 2, 1, 1, 4. We're coming right here. Negative 3, 2, negative 2, and negative 10. So instead of us sitting here doing a 3 by 3, like we did on the board, we're going to use our calculators, okay? So find the matrix button. It's below the math button. And you have to hit seconds. So I'm going to write this up here so that we can get off this screen. So when you're doing this problem, you get a point for augmenting it. Okay? You get a point for your solution, or so. Okay, so your matrix is x to the negative 1. It's this button right here. So you can hit seconds in that button. So right now we have to put that matrix in there. So you need to go over to edit. And you can pick your favorite letter if you like to. You can always use A, whatever you want it to be. And if you look at this one, what are the dimensions of it? 3 by 4. Okay, so when you go to here, you're going to hit enter. And then you're going to have to enter in 3 by 4. Alright, and then I put that augmented matrix up on the board. So you're doing 1, negative 2, 3, 7. Just hitting enter every time. 2, 1, 1, 4. Negative 3, 2, negative 2, negative 10. And that's just putting our system or matrix into our calculator. Alright, when you're done here, you're going to just exit out. So do second quit. Again, it's up on the board if you're not there. So now we're going to go back into matrix. So do second matrix. And whatever letter you put it under, so mine, this matrix that I put in there is right there, right now. Okay, so we need to go over to math. And you can use some of these later on. I'm going to scroll up because it's closer. It's B, it's the RREF. And that tells the calculator to solve. So you're going to hit enter on RREF. Do everyone get that? So second matrix, over to math. You can scroll all the way down, or if you scroll up, it gets there faster. It's that RREF. It's mine's B. Okay, don't hit enter here because you're saying solve, but you're not telling it what to solve. So now there's one more time. We have to go back into second matrix. And here's the one that we just entered. So you need to hit enter on that one. You can close the parentheses if you'd like to. That part doesn't matter. And you should get a bunch of 1s and 0s. Did you get the RREF? Okay, so that means that you probably didn't enter it in exactly, like you may have forgotten negative or something. Okay, anybody else not get to this part? No? Okay, so here's what it means. This is your x, your y, your z, and then that's your solution. So you would have 1x plus 0y plus 0z equals 2. So what does that mean? It means that x equals 2. Without you having to do it all by hands. Okay? Then it says 0x, right? Plus 1y plus 0z equals negative 1. What does that mean? Y equals negative 1.
Will it always be zeros like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can always, like this kind of explains it, but your first one's always your x and then your y and then your z. And then your last one, 0x plus 0y plus 1z equals 1, so z equals 1. Okay, so on these type of problems, you're going to have to augment it, which is this right here. And then you'll be able to use your calculator to figure it out.
How do we clear them out?
How do you? I don't know if you can. I don't know for sure. I always just like read over them. Alright, if you did not write that down because it's Friday and you have 30 minutes and you really like your cell phone today, these notes are on my website so that you can write this down later.
Well, I didn't get to finish writing it.
Oh, wait, let me write that.
Okay, so you can write that down right now if you'd like to. And then we have two other things we have to do. We're going to do row operations, and then we're going to solve. Solving's not too bad, don't you worry. So row operations are kind of a little bit strange, a little bit different. They're taking your rows and they're replacing it with some operation that they give you. They will always give you a matrix and they will always give you whatever operation they want you to do. Okay, are we ready to go on to this? Okay, so let's look at this one. It says write the system of equations and perform each row operation. Okay, so here's our system, which remains, it's our matrix, right? That was augmented. And what it would like us to do is instead of having row 2, which is this one right here, it wants us to do row 2 and do this row operation instead. So what you're doing is you're replacing this whole row of numbers. Alright? You could write the whole entire matrix over again, right? Because row 1 is not changing. Because if I look at my row operation, it's only the second one that's changing. So, or you could just rewrite this row. And like I just usually rewrite that row because it's kind of dangerous to rewrite everything else around it. So I have 3 different terms in here, which means I'm going to have 3 different terms in here. Okay, so this 2 negative 5, 5 is going away, and I'm going to do this operation instead.
What is it?
Whatever number that we're going to get. Okay, so this will probably always change, and the matrix will always change, but you'll always get one of those two, or both of them. So let's look at this first spot. So do you guys agree that this is in column 1? Right, it's the first one. So you're going to be looking at column 1 right here also. So it says instead of row 2, I want you to take negative 2 times row 1, which is not this whole entire thing, right? You're only talking about column 1, row 1, because that's the spot that it's going in. All right? So you're going to take negative 2 times row 1. So if I look in row 1 in this column, it's a 1. And then I'm going to add row 2. Row 2 is 2. And I'm going to multiply and add these numbers together. Right? So negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 plus 2.
How do you know?
0. So 0 is right there. How do I know what?
Column 1.
Because it's the first column in my matrix. So columns go up and down. So it's in the first one.
Why does it say row?
So because we're taking this row 2 out, and we're using this in that column 1. So when we do this one, since it's column 2, we're going to be looking just at this column 2, using your rows. So it's kind of like a combination of your rows and your columns. So this one's column 2, right? Because columns go up and down. It's the second one in our matrix. So I'm only looking at that column, but again, you're using the rows, okay? So you're using negative 2 times row 1 inside this column. So negative 2 times negative 3. And then you are adding row 2, which is negative 5. So 6 plus negative 5? 1. And then the last one is this one. So again, I'm replacing 5. And instead of 5, I'm going to take -2 times row 1, which is row 1 in that column 3. Why column 3? Because this is the spot of column 3. So I'm going to take -2 times row 1, which is -2. And I'm going to add row 2, which is 5. So 9. And then this is your answer. You're just replacing whatever row that they are telling you to, whatever operation that they're telling you to do.
So we don't have to plug it back in.
No. For operations, usually time is very important to do. All right. Here's the last thing. And it's solving. So whenever we hear solving, we're trying to freak out because we think it's going to be hard and long and complex, and we have to plug things back in. Okay, but this part, you have to just know the locations. Okay, so is it row 1, column 1? Is it row 2, column 2? Where is it going to be at? Or you can just look at it. So again, when you're solving, the main goal is to figure out what x is, what y is, what z is. Okay, so if I look at this one, 4x minus 3, and there's a big old equal sign in between there, what term or spot over here, or number, or whatever, do you think that 4x minus 3 goes with? 9. Perfect. So you're going to set 4x minus 3 equal to 9, and you figure out what x equals. So x equals 3. Perfect. You don't want to do anything else with that. I would go to the next term, 3y, and 3y equals what? -15. So you're going to set those two equal to each other. Sydney, what's your question?
I was just curious how this is different than adding the -2. Like the last one we had at times by -2.
So those are row operations, and these are solving matrices.
Okay.
So on this one, they only give you one matrix, and then you adjust whatever row they're telling you to do. This one, they're giving you 2 matrices with an equal sign in between. So these are solving instead. Okay, when you get to this spot, 7 equals 7. Well, that's fantastic. We don't need to write that down, right? Because that's not going to help me solve anything. So then your last one would be these two equaling each other. 13 equals 2z plus 1. So z equals 6. So that's the solving part. What I want you to do while I grab your homework is I want you to look at this last one and brainstorm how you would figure it out. And then tell somebody next to you how you would figure it out. You don't actually need to come up with numbers if you don't want to. Alright, what would you guys do?
Yeah.
So if I just said these two equal, can I figure it out? No, because there are 2 unknowns, right? So I should start right here. Is 3y equals 6? Find y. And plug it in. So you might have it direct where it's just like, oh, this one goes to that one, this one goes to that one. Or you might have to do multiple ones to find it. Okay, this is not due until Wednesday, so don't freak out. We're going to the weekend. Okay, again, you guys will have a Miss Clark on Monday for your last lesson. You're reviewing it on Wednesday, and then seniors and juniors and everyone, you're done. Okay, so juniors, you can come to this class. It'll be a study hall. Obviously, we still have to take attendance, so